Microsoft attended GDC and they've actually had a lot of interesting things to announce. Some of the things that they've announced really kind of come as a surprise to a lot of folks. In fact, I've been seeing a lot of people sort of downplaying what they announced and some of the figures that they've announced via Twitter and social media and things like that. And that's usual for when Microsoft does something good. I'm just going to be honest. Microsoft, whenever they come out with something good, whenever they come out with some good news, people are out there to kind of downplay it. They're out there to sort of make it sound like it's not a big deal, like it's worse than it should be. And I feel like that's probably in part due to the fact that I follow a lot of people involved heavily into their pieces of plastic, on both sides, mind you, right? Like, well, probably not as much on the Xbox side these days, but you know, a lot of PlayStation fans are going to downplay a lot of things Microsoft does, and then vice versa. But it's interesting to see the reactions from what's going on. And I got to say, like, I was surprised by some of these numbers and some of the stuff that they said with their announcements, but it still bears weight to talk about, because at the end of the day, I was one of the people kind of downplaying this stuff for a while, and now you sort of see how everything's kind of come to fruition, and it's really just nice to see. And I do think that Microsoft has come a long way in a very short amount of time, so that leads to me to be very excited about the future of Xbox and with what's going on. And I think it's going to be a good video, so let's get into it. Hey everybody, I'm Crap Gamer, and of course this is Crap Gamer Reviews, your home for gaming news, opinions, reviews, and much more. You'll probably notice a few changes around here, but that shouldn't stop you from giving us a like and possibly even consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. Thank you so much for choosing to spend some of your free time with me today. It really does mean a lot to me. I am so blessed to have so many great people spend some time watching my videos. And if you are watching, please leave a like. That's pretty much all I ask. It helps the video to be seen, and it helps the channel to grow, which is always very important as well. So thank you guys very much. Now, I wanted to get into this because this I thought was very interesting. At GDC, Microsoft has announced that Game Pass stats, and it shows that subscribers play more, but it also shows a little bit more. Maybe that Game Pass isn't exactly taking over the industry the way that some people think, but it's still very successful for early on. We know that Xbox Game Pass is a success in the most simple terms, having surpassed 25 million subscribers. But what about the nitty-gritty? Do game makers actually benefit from putting their work on Game Pass? How are subscribers interacting with the service? Well, we've reached some snippets of info in the past, but at GDC 2022, Microsoft revealed a lot more stats about Xbox Game Pass in a talk that you can actually check out. I'm going to link this and you can watch it yourselves. It's a nice little presentation that they did that sort of explains exactly where they're coming from. The big takeaway are that Xbox Game Pass subscribers play more than average, and most games, particularly back catalog titles and indies, get a nice boost from joining the service. Per Microsoft, Game Pass subscribers play 40% more titles and explore 30% more genres after joining. They also like to spend, shelling out 50% more in-game purchases than the average player would do. So people that do subscribe are ready and willing and able to spend money and play more games, which if you think about it makes sense. I know a lot of people kind of get snarky about this stuff, but honestly it just makes the most sense in the world. Now, new games released day one on Xbox Game Pass get a 3.5% times player lift over the first 30 days compared to similar games not on Game Pass, meaning that if a game is released day one on Xbox, you're going to see almost 4 times the players you normally would over just a regular release within the first month, which is a nice boost, especially probably for online games or multiplayer games and things like that. Meanwhile, older games added to the service get an 8.3 times player lift to where they were at before joining Game Pass. Indies in particular benefit, getting a 15 times player lift for joining Game Pass. Microsoft metrics for player lift are a little murky, but the overall point is pretty clear. More people will play your game if it's on Game Pass. So yeah, according to Microsoft stats, Xbox Game Pass is quite a success. But is it the future of gaming? Perhaps, but Microsoft has a long way to achieve that goal, according to industry analyst Piers Harding-Rolls. Subscription services, which include PlayStation Now, Stadia, GeForce Now, and others in addition to Game Pass, only account for about 4% of the industry right now. Harding-Rolls expects that number to double to around 8% over the next 5 years, but the ubiquitous Netflix of games probably isn't coming anytime soon. It's very interesting to hear people kind of talk about this because we do see Game Pass as a huge success, but in the overall grand scheme of things, even when it hits 30 million subscribers, which you'll probably do at some point this year. Is it that big success that a lot of people are expecting? I think that it's going to take longer, and that's why Microsoft is fine with gathering subscribers right now. They're out there gathering subscribers, kind of making sure that they have plenty of people to kind of taking to the future with them, as opposed to being more worried about what's coming next, or raising prices or anything like that. In a world where we're all kind of seeing everything get raised up in prices. The other thing that was very interesting that Microsoft announced was that Game Pass has featured 60 Game of the Year winners since launch. Microsoft has revealed every Game of the Year winner available on Xbox Game Pass since the initial launch of the service. Since it first became commercially available back in 2017, Game Pass has exploded in popularity, offering a wide and varied selection of games from numerous console generations. Xbox Game Pass is one of the most accessible options that people have to play a multitude of games on the platform of their choice. Now Microsoft has officially revealed a list of every Game of the Year winner available to play on the subscription service, and it's quite a nice list if you think about it. During a recent Microsoft Game Developer presentation, the content planning director for Microsoft revealed that Xbox Game Pass has housed 60 different Game of the Year award winners that span across various different award shows and publication outlets such as the Game Awards, Metacritic, and IGN. These titles hail from various different genres and development studios, some of which have gone unnoticed by Xbox Game Pass users. The list itself possesses some real heavy hitters such as The Witcher 3, Skyrim, and Grand Theft Auto 5, to name a select few. However, there are also a number of indie titles and other lesser-known games, and that some players may not have heard of. This includes Celeste, Night in the Woods, The Outer Wilds, and many others. So it's amazing to see such a plethora of amazing games available to play on Xbox Game Pass. Given Microsoft's acquisition of Bethesda and other various studios, it's likely that players will see plenty of additional upcoming games released on Xbox Game Pass Day 1, though it begs the question of what exactly Microsoft has in store for Xbox Game Pass going forward. In the addition of a massive amount of success that Game Pass has garnered, Microsoft has also been developing cloud gaming, which allows Game Pass subscribers to play on any platform, while still maintaining save progress across each platform. So it's very interesting to see that Microsoft is very much involved in a lot of this, basically 60 different Game of the Year award winners. People are going to always look at these types of things in slightly different ways. For me personally, I look at this list and I go, that's a nice list, especially for somebody that that might be new to gaming or whatever. I feel like they have something for everybody, and yeah, not all of them are like new games or whatever, but it is still nice to see so many different types of genres and things like that Microsoft has really gone out of their way to support. So yeah, I think that that's really cool. And it's nice to see that Microsoft has, kind of come to realize how important the content is, and we continue to see, growth in that sector and things like that. So Microsoft continues to really impress a lot of people, myself included, when it comes to these types of lists. And, for me personally, I think that it's, it's going to continue to get better and better and better as kind of time goes along. So yeah, it's very interesting to see that, and I'm sure there's lots of people out there that are saying, hey, what's Microsoft going to do next? Who knows, but it seems like they're on the right path. Like I said, I'm not shilling for it. I just see that it's a value, and I see it as an option. So I know a lot of people fight that kind of stuff, myself included, so it's going to be interesting to see how widely accepted some of this stuff is in the future. With that being said, thank you guys very much for rocking out with me. Have a fantastic day. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, Crep Gamer 'em up. Thanks for watching. Crep Gamer out.